Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage. We are using our AP Lazer here in the studio. Check out that beautiful fuel tank from a motorcycle. That's almost finished here. We just need to wipe that off and get it ready to go. We just finished this gas cap and it looks fantastic. Lots of automotive applications for the AP Lazer. We've shown you on the show before. Car doors, folks doing valve covers, seat back covers, even a hood from a Firebird Trans Am. Really cool stuff you can do for your car. We've seen all kinds of materials, and last time you were here, Jeff, you actually brought in some automotive stuff made of granite and glass.
Granite and etched glass, yes.
Yeah, so all kinds of materials you can use with the AP Lazer. What's it like to go back and forth with different materials?
Well, that's one of the things we like about the AP Lasers, all the different types of materials we can work with. We have a lot of flexibility, allows us to address different markets, particularly niche markets. The flexibility is tremendous.
You mentioned the metal, and here you're using acrylic. We've seen people bring in wood, all kinds of stuff. Let's talk about this acrylic stuff. You have some really sharp looking stuff and some really neat Motorhead stuff. Thanks for doing that. What's it like to work with acrylic? And I see that it even cuts it out too.
Yeah, well, the thing we like is the versatility. Everything that's on display here is made from sheet acrylic. We can work with all different thicknesses, different colors, materials. We have all sorts of different selection to work from, so it gives us a tremendous amount of flexibility.
With just about anything on the AP Lazer, folks always ask me, what kind of thickness can it cut?
Regularly we cut up to 1/2 inch thick, and you can go thicker.
How ready is the acrylic once you pull it off the AP Lazer and you've cut something out?
It's one of the things we like about it is you get a very good finish right off the machine. Usually you have a polished edge, flame polished edge. We don't have to do any other prep.
And this is really cool. Here's a little Motorhead logo you made for us here. And you can see there, if you look right through it, incredibly fine.
We do very, very fine detail work, both in the etching. We can do photo etching, but as far as shaping, we can work with all different types of contours. So it gives us a tremendous amount of flexibility.
I like it, and you're even cutting the base when it comes to an award like this, and you can just slide it right in there. Everything's ready made. What is it like transitioning from material to material? How complicated is that?
There's a learning process, but as you work with the different materials, of course, notes are important and being able to get back to the same settings. But once you get it dialed in, it's very easy. We have the selection of different lenses for different products, and overall, we've learned to adjust very well.
How does AP Lazer make transitions like that easier?
Well, one of the biggest things with AP Lazer is their tremendous support, both from the company itself and from the user group. So somebody who's just getting started, again, if you're going from one material to another, it helps a lot to be able to ask what settings should I start with. And starting from that point, you can tweak and learn to adjust as you go.
Bolt Laser Works is your full-time occupation?
Yes.
How easy was it to build a business around your AP Lazer?
Well, like any other business, you have challenges learning the marketing and sales and so on, but the machine itself is pretty much a turnkey solution. We didn't have to go out and piece everything together. We were able to hit the ground running. There's a learning curve, but one of the things we've really enjoyed is the flexibility we have in terms of working towards various markets.
AP Lazer has the technical support you talked about. What about marketing solutions for your business?
AP helps us with marketing solutions. They have marketing materials, and again, the user group is a very invaluable tool for us to work through and with. And overall, if you can build on the experience of other people, it helps you get there quicker.
And I know AP Lazer also, when you're getting started, they actually have a one-on-one support session with you to show you how to get up and running.
They do. It's a very support-oriented company. They're there with you long after the sale. It's not somebody that you buy it and bye-bye, they're gone.
You're doing a lot of stuff here that's obviously personalized. Mm-hmm. What is it like taking a chunk of acrylic there, but then you're making it into something that's a keepsake?
That's the thing. It's really a lot of fun with the lasers, being able to be creative and work towards the different markets. Being unique is important. We're not selling just the same type of thing over and over and over. It's just like with your trophies. We hear people say, well, everybody's got trophies now. Well, we can take and design something from scratch that's unique and nobody else has.
Other companies make lasers. There are others out there.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that when you went into this.
I did. I did a lot of research. I actually started a spreadsheet. And I started listing all of the features, the advantages, disadvantages, and of course price was one of those things we plugged in. Interestingly, AP was one of the more expensive ones that we looked at. But at the end of the day, AP was the clear winner. They have their unique patented open architecture, which was huge. Their support was huge. It just became a no-brainer.
I have seen the spreadsheet. This guy's done his homework. He picked AP Lazer over all the rest. You're going to do it too. Go to aplazer.com/TV and find out which AP Lazer is going to be right for you. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coating, so stay laser focused right here, will you?
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Tint World, America's largest and fastest growing automotive styling centers. And by Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, and we are rolling right along. Now let's talk about tire balancing. Why do you need to even balance your tires in the first place? Well, over time, the tires start to wear unevenly, and that causes a weight distribution issue around the tire that actually changes, and that weight imbalance creates heavy spots. Those heavy spots can cause vibrations or even shaking in the steering wheel as you drive. And the forces inside a tire mean that a 6-ounce heavy spot can become a 60-pound imbalance when you're going at full speed. Your tire turns at about 550 revolutions per minute on the highway. That means there's a 60-pound shock wave acting on your suspension every single minute, going up and down. So, tire balancing evens out that weight distribution. It gives you a smoother ride, plus your tires will wear more evenly, which means they'll last longer. That is safer, and it'll save you money in the long run. For ages, the only way to balance a tire was lead weights fastened to the rim on the inside. So you had a lead weight like this one that's clipped to the tire, or it was held on by double-sided tape. But let's face it, wheel weights are ugly, and they can damage your custom wheels if they're put on improperly, and they're held in place only by the double-sided tape or a weak little clamp. That means they're exposed to snow and rain and all kinds of rocks and debris, and it's just a matter of time before they come off, and that'll leave you with an even bigger balance issue than you had before. The solution to all of these problems? Checkered flag tire beads. Checkered flag tire beads are little beads that you actually insert into the tire, and when the beads rotate in the tire, the centrifugal force naturally pulls the beads to the tread. The beads collect at low spots, and they balance your tire perfectly. It's as simple as that. The tire beads are inside the tire, so you don't lose them like you would lose a traditional lead weight, and you won't have to rebalance your tire later because the beads constantly adjust to the tire as it wears and changes shape. One shot of tire beads and you're good for the life of the tire, and I tell you what, old-fashioned lead weights cannot do that. We've seen checkered flag tire beads on Motorhead Garage and our sister show Performance TV, and we've shown the best way to install the beads at home. You just pop the bead and use a floor jack and a ratchet strap to separate the tire from the wheel. Now check the charts on the website to see how many ounces you need to put in your tire. And if you're lucky enough to have a tire mounting machine, it's even faster, of course. Or when you're getting new tires put on your car, take your beads with you to the shop and ask the technician to put them on your new tires, and they'll be balanced for life. If your tires are already mounted and you don't want to, or you can't take them off the vehicle, there's liquid tire beads. It couldn't be easier to balance your tires with the liquid. Liquid tire beads come with a tool to remove the Schrader valve from the valve stem, and while the air is escaping, you can look online once again to see how much liquid you'll need. It's not the same as the regular beads. Make sure you check it out. Once the air is out of the tire, you can go to work. Attach the tube to the packet, and we use some tape just to make sure it didn't pop off, and pour the proper amount of liquid into the tire. Liquid tire beads do not contain any alcohol, so it won't vaporize in the heat. And as far as the cold, well, it's good down to 50 below zero, so the liquid will not freeze. Liquid tire beads not recommended for tires with TPMS sensors, but regular tire beads are safe for TPMS. And I do want to let you know that these products are not meant for small cars, hot rods, or cars with low profile tires, but they are perfect for semi-truck tires, motorhomes, motorcycles, ATVs, pickup trucks, and SUVs and tires like that. Now, tires are really expensive, but if you keep them balanced with checkered flag tire beads, they'll last longer and your vehicle will run more efficiently, and that's great news for your vehicle at home. But what if you own a fleet of vehicles? Maybe a fleet of pickup trucks or semi-trucks? Well, guess what? You are going to save all kinds of money. And first of all, you'll get better fuel mileage across your entire fleet, and there's going to be less wear and tear on your suspension parts. And your tires will last longer, so you won't have to replace them as often. In fact, some fleets report as much as a 30% gain in the life of a tire when using checkered flag tire beads. And let's talk about the safety issue. Tires will not wear as fast, and your drivers will have a much more comfortable ride. They won't have all that shimmying and shaking, so they won't have all the fatigue. I've seen the science behind it. I've seen it working, but you don't have to take my word for it. Check them out online. Get some for yourself, and you can see the difference. You can increase your tire life by as much as 30%. Get balanced. Check them out at 4tirebeads.com. Boy, there are some amazing innovations out there in the aftermarket world, and we're going to have more for you here on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings when we come back.
Dragonfire Tools, quality affordable storage. Proud sponsor of our DragonfireTools.com studio.
If you head over to the DragonfireTools.com website, you're going to find myriad tool storage solutions that are going to meet your needs. And when you marry it all together in a system, it looks like this. We're going to look at one of the focal points here, Lou. This is one of your 7-foot workbenches. Tell me about the features that make this special.
This is our 7-foot 24-drawer Midnight Pro Series workbench. And as you can see, we have a lot of storage here. The top is a 304 14-gauge stainless steel top. We've got 16-gauge galvanized steel drawer bodies, 14-gauge stainless steel handles, and a fully welded tubular frame construction.
I mean, these things are tough as nails. How much weight do each of the drawers hold?
Our single rail drawers are rated for 200 pounds, and our double rail drawers, which are deep drawers here on the bottom, are rated for 400 pounds.
The thing I love about Dragonfire Tools workbenches, they're great here nested up in the corner, up against the wall. But if you need to move it to the work, how easy is it to get this out of here?
Because all 6 of the casters swivel, that allows you to be able to pull it out straight from the wall. A lot of tool storage solutions out there, the center casters don't swivel, and you kind of have to parallel park it in place.
Now let's talk about the system this fits into now. Something you come up with here are the corner units, which makes it possible to go along 2 walls. Tell me about those.
The corner units are new for this year, and the lower corner unit and the upper corner unit, as you can see, mate to our existing wall cabinets that we have, and it perfectly mates up to a workbench going down either wall.
And the upper cabinets offer a lot of flexibility. How do they match up with the workbenches you already have?
3 wall cabinets are the exact same length as a 7-foot workbench, and 4 wall cabinets are the exact same length as a 9-foot 4 1/4 workbench.
Well, whether you start with just one workbench to start your workshop, or you want to make an entire system like this, go to DragonfireTools.com and you can find the solution that is great for you. And if you go there right now, you can find a discount code for Motorhead Garage viewers. Code Motorhead is going to get you a discount and free shipping. Now, I grew up in Ohio, and like a lot of folks in the northern part of the United States, Joe, I was used to rock salt when I was growing up, and that led to corrosion and rust on your vehicle all the time. It was just kind of a fact of life. Now there's the brine that you drive through. You see them spray it down before a snowfall. How is that different from the salt that we used to see?
Oh, it's much more effective on the roads.
It's great on the roads, right?
Much more corrosive on your vehicle. So we've had a problem. Let's say this vehicle comes into us and the customer has to drive through brine to get it in. We were trying to prep and clean these vehicles so that they could be boss waxed, and we weren't happy with any of the products that were available on the market. And like so many of our products, what we did was turn to our chemists and said, hey, listen, we need to break down that sticky additive that they put in road brine to be able to effectively clean this vehicle and have a good surface to bond the wax to. And so we now developed our salt brine eliminator, and we use them on our own vehicles when they come in if they've driven through the brine. We also sell it to you as a consumer to use just to maintain your own vehicle.
Once the salt brine remover has been used, what happens to the vehicle next?
So in this case, we're going to let it set overnight dry, and then we're going to apply our wax. In your case, you simply spray it with the foam applicator, rinse it off, and you've removed all of those contaminants, which a car wash doesn't do. Car washes in many cases are going to recycle their water. They cannot and they do not remove sodium in that process.
You go into a car wash thinking you're doing the right thing, and turns out it's not.
You're pushing that salt water back up into the body cavities, and it's detrimental. It's actually counterproductive.
How often does the oil need to be reapplied to the vehicle?
The oil should be reapplied on an annual basis, and you should avoid high-pressure undercarriage washes. Go in and have the shell wash, but you don't need to do anything underneath. Let the oil do its job.
Well, just like you get your oil changed, just like you change your transmission fluid, all that stuff, you can also change the oil underneath your car. It'll protect it from rust. When we come back, more cool products that are going to make your vehicle last a whole lot longer. Stay tuned for more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. Off-road body armor, protect your ride with high-quality UTV and ATV accessories. AP Lazer, leading the way. And by Dragonfire Tools, industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage.
Brian Hansen's the head engineer at Tribotex. He's back with us. And Brian, once again, we've gone to the mailbag to see what folks are asking about Tribotex. We're back to the basic question we get all the time, but it gets asked all the time. Is Tribotex safe in my car?
Yes, it is safe for any car. You can add any oil and it works in any engine.
And you get a lot of people, you say that they want to try it on something that's not going to hurt as much as putting it in your car, right?
Yeah, a lot of people try us out in their lawnmower and they're so blown away by the performance they end up putting it in their car, their wife's car, and that's how we end up upselling our products.
But you don't have to do the research yourself because these guys actually have it on their website.
Yeah, we actually have all of our scientific papers on our website. We've worked with national laboratories and we've been proven in many other engineering labs and are currently being tested in some very large companies right now.
NASA?
NASA actually gave us a spin-off. They published us this last year. So if you type in Tribotex NASA, you will find us on the internet.
These guys are the real deal. How much should we use in any engine at any given time?
Okay, that's a good question. A lot of people have different sized engines and it's hard to find a product that's just right. Our Tribotex Original, which is this middle-sized one, is really good for anything between like a 2-liter and a 6-liter engine. It's a little thin on the bigger side or a little heavy on the small engines, but it's totally fine for all of that. Any excess will just drain out with your oil and it will build up as much as you need. If you don't have enough, we have a satisfaction guarantee. Hit us up, we might give you another tube for you. And also, if you have a small engine, like below 2-liter, we have a Tribotex Mini, which is often great for 4-wheelers, motorcycles, snowmobiles, lawnmowers. These things are great for small cars. So I got a Toyota Prius that I race. My Tribotex Mini works great.
We talk about oil. There's all kinds of oils out there, and for cars that have been around for a while, there is the high mileage oil.
Yeah.
Should I use that for my older vehicle when I'm using Tribotex?
You can use any oil, but we recommend using just a normal oil. Now, high mileage oils have special additives in it, which can compete with Tribotex nanoparticles. The Tribotex nanoparticles are going to be superior to those particles that you're going to find in your oils.
And I saw a few people writing in asking when they should add Tribotex. Is it every fill up, every oil change? How often?
I recommend using it after an oil change. Get a fresh set of oil and blend the Tribotex with a quart of oil to get it to disperse quicker into the engine. When you add it to your engine, you need to run it for about 500 miles at least. Give it a couple thousand better, and then it will stay in your engine for over 40,000 miles.
Well, Tribotex is going to make your engine perform better. It's going to actually repair your older engines, and it's going to make your car last longer. Check them out at Tribotex.com.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
No doubt, if you've watched Motorhead Garage before, you have seen the Magic Creeper, but maybe you don't have one, maybe you're not convinced. Let's do the Creeper comparison. We'll take a traditional Creeper like this one here. It's on wheels, it's got casters underneath, and here on our Resin Works floor, it works great. That's perfect. Perfect conditions, right? And the Magic Creeper, guess what? Nice and smooth too, so it's kind of a tie ball game when you have a perfect floor like this. But what if you don't have perfect conditions? Well, if you have a crack on the floor, the Magic Creeper is going to sail right over it. Traditional Creeper is going to get hung up on that, or maybe a small screw. Maybe you have tools on the floor. Magic Creeper sails right over those. The regular Creeper does not have a chance. When you go outside, once again, the traditional Creeper doesn't have a chance. Can a traditional Creeper go over gravel? Nope. Can it go over grass? Nope. Can it go through mud? Nope. But the Magic Creeper can do all of that. It can go through the gravel, grass, mud, tree roots, anything you're dealing with outside. It'll keep you clean, and you can make all the repairs you need and get on your way. Let's talk about portability. While the Magic Creeper rolls up and stores anywhere, a traditional Creeper, are you kidding me? For an emergency, you do not want to take a regular Creeper along with you every time you drive your vehicle. But the Magic Creeper can go all terrain. It can get over everything, just like we said earlier. A regular Creeper is only going to work in a brand new parking lot, so your odds of breaking down in a shiny, smooth parking lot are pretty slim. Let's talk about clearance under a vehicle. With a traditional creeper, with those casters underneath, there's no way, unless you've got a really jacked up vehicle, you're going to get under it without putting it up on a lift. The Magic Creeper has no wheels, so plenty of room for you under the vehicle. And finally, let's talk about some other uses for the Magic Creeper. You can use it as a fender cover. You want to try to use a traditional creeper as a fender cover? You're going to need some body work after that. You can use the Magic Creeper as a kneeling pad. You might try that with a traditional creeper. It's not going to be all that comfortable. How about an emergency blanket? Haha, got you there. Only the Magic Creeper can be used for all of the above, and there is only one authentic Magic Creeper. You can find it at magiccreeper.com, except no substitutes. That is going to do it for this episode of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. We're sure glad you joined us. We're going to do it again, and in the meantime, you can check us out on social media. And if you have a product you want to see here on the show, something as cool as the Magic Creeper, okay, nothing's as cool as the Magic Creeper, but if you want to get it here in the studio, email Jeff at masterstv.com and we'll bring you on in. From our entire crew here at Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, we'll see you next week. So long.